Hello there. So my name's Fiona from Weekly Sewing Bee, and today I'm going to make a pen pot, a desk tidy. So very simple, I know, but got to be done. Now, for my lining, I have this nice green. I like this green, sorry, I just do. I know people either like green or they hate green. So, but I like it. Now, and we'll be using the pinking shears all the way through this. I'm a standard kind of household here, and often my scissors go for walkabouts, and sometimes it's even me that steals them from in here. But yeah, so we're going to be using our pinking shears. So what I'm doing here is I folded this over into a spike and I'm cutting a circle. Now this is going to be my gauge of the size of the pen pot, because I'm going to make it to the fabric that I have got, which is great, isn't it? This is probably why I don't buy myself any posh scissors, because I would trash them. Yes. Okay, so that's that done. I've got a circle there. So, you know, that's now my base. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that out on my fabric that I'm going to use as my pen pot and cut round it. Or attempt to, one or the other. Now, I have to say, okay, here in London, we are now in the middle of May, and I have been soaked to the skin twice today. It's going between windy and sunny, really, really bad weather. I've got cold. I should have just got in a hot bath, and it does wondrous things to your hair, this weather as well. So, yes, not good, not good. I know us English always moan about the weather, but oh, I could do without it. So, I've got my two circles, and they're not actually very good. There we go. I'll take the corners off, put that to one side so I can find it. Now, to work out the next size of this, I am just going to put a pin in the lining. This is my start point, and I'm going to roll it round. And the reason I use a pin is so that I know where I started, because otherwise you don't, do you? So I can then go along here. I'm going to go to the top, but I am going to do I was going to say a waistband then, but I suppose that's as good enough as any, isn't it? I was going to do a shoulder, a sort of lower pouch. So I'm going to trim down here, and this is the lower half. Oh, that's appalling, isn't it? I don't want to stop the camera and go and get my scissors, because I might never come back, you know. Alright, I do need a bigger bit. Now, this green material is the lime green material is sheeting for the back of quilts and stuff, and I'm actually very impressed with the quality, because it's left over and I've been using it for all sorts of things. At the time I didn't really pay any attention to it, I just bought it for the colour, but it's actually really good quality sheeting, so, which is nice. So now this is all good and dandy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the lining slightly lower so that I can fold the top of this over. Okay, so that it's got a nice strong top to it. Lovely. So they're all out of the way, they're all scrapped now, and I have all my bits. Okay, so now I guess the first thing I want to do is I want to take, what would it be, a pocket? I keep going to say a shelf as well now. So I'm going to take this and I'm folding over, double fold. I'm going to do it all in red stitching because I quite like my stitching being seen, and obviously for a video as well it's great to have a contrasting thread so that you can see what I'm doing. Now I am literally just going to tuck that under and keep an eye on it. And not a very strange machine, it was just going in reverse. Okay, yes, so I'm going to place the fabric under the foot so that it's got a good start on the sew, okay? And then I'm just going to let the feet take the cloth. Lovely. So I'm going to get this as straight as possible. And obviously making sure that I've got all the scraggy ends tucked in as well. If I've got spare thread, I can tuck that in. So it's all good, all good. There we go. So that's the first part of my sew. Well, that does explain it. But, I don't want to give up and start again, you know. I'm quite determined. Although I do have to be aware that if this is the first video of mine you're watching, you may never watch another one. So, let's get this thread out and let's start again. So I've got the machine set up for a medium-sized straight stitch. I do need it to be quite a strong stitch though, so because this is canvas. There we go, I'm just picking up the same line. Now I'm going to take the main body of the pen pot and I'm going to do some stitches down from the pocket to the lining. This is just to divide it up, and of course this will give it extra strength because I want it to stand up on its own. Now what I've done is I've lined it up with the line so it's all good, all nice and visible, and because of I need it to be straight because I'm using striped fabric. There we go, and I'm not unzipping it each time. will have a lot of threads to cut. It's just, well, I suppose this is just a bad habit. Now these are supposed to be not evenly spaced. They're supposed to be so that, you know, they're random. So I'm not even thinking about it, I'm just doing it. Lovely. Now because I'm not using a large stitch as well, I don't need to worry about doing finishes, because this is all going to be sewn in. So there's that. Maybe I should have trimmed the edges each time with the threads. So now I'm going to fold it so it's inside out, and I'm going to run a line of stitches round here. Obviously I'm going to pay particular attention and line up the lines of the fabric, because it will look wrong. So let's just get that started and then line everything else up, so including the pockets. So whereas it would be easier to sew the base, the circle onto a straight line, because I needed the pockets held in place, I have chosen to do the pocket, chosen to do the side now. Now, pins are a great thing. Don't be put off, you know. I know you can see loads of YouTubers and they don't use pins at all, and I must admit I did have a pin shatter on me once, so that's my reason for my fear. It's not because of, I say it's because I'm lazy actually, but there is a reason behind it. So we're just going to put probably 4 pins. Actually, I'm going to put 3 pins, because all I'm going to do is put 1 pin in and then take it straight out, so that I've got my lining and I've got my base all lined up nice and ready. So I've got right side to right side to right side. Okay, I'm going to pick a spot, place it under the machine and let the machine sew it. Now these are brilliant in the bathroom. If you have things like cotton wool and things like that, so that you don't have the ugly packaging, you can just transfer them to these. So if you've got more than one bathroom as well, you don't need to buy 3 lots of cotton buds. Okay, it's just going over the seam, so obviously that's nice and thick, so it is going to sort of say, are you sure you want me to sew? Lovely. I'm making sure that I've got the lining in as well. There we go. I'll just give it a little tug at the back, just to get it all ready. And there we are. Take out that pin. So you can see it's sort of making a hat. And if it's your first time sewing a circle to a straight line, it is quite a dramatic effect, so it is worthwhile just sort of getting the hang of it. So that's that done, and there we are. It should stand up on its own. It's yeah. It's not going to. Alright, now whereas I sewed the sides to the back, to the base, I'm not going to do that for this. So I'm going to make sure I've got my hem allowance, and then I'm going to sew this on here. And the reason that I'm leaving it open is for the simple fact of I'm going to leave the side open so I can turn it all inside out, which makes perfect sense to me. And literally I'm holding this, not firmly, but I'm holding the base, the straight line, and then I'm turning the circle round. And then I'm just letting the machine take it. So you do get a lot tidier finish, a real lot tidier. So as we use that pin to measure that piece of fabric, we know that it's going to be okay. And as this is the lining as well, then maybe we shouldn't concentrate too much on it. So I'm just letting the machine take it, and then I'm coming to the end now, so that, and I can see the red stitches where I start, making sure nothing's tucked up underneath, of course. Lovely. So there we go, and then the lining will fold out inside out. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to turn it the right way round, and I need to make sure that that doesn't get in the way. And I'm going to place the lining inside here. Now I'm guessing, I think we can put the seams at the same place. Obviously they're not sewn on the lining, so I'm going to leave myself a hem allowance again. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to tuck it so I can see it. And then this is another simple straight line sew, and we measured it and cut it at the same time, so it should follow round. Now by turning the lining inside out, we now have the two right sides together. So I've still got it slightly so I can see it, and I'm literally making sure that as I'm using stripes, I'm staying halfway round the black line. So it makes it nice and easy as possible. So now, so there we go. I've got a feeling I've got to tidy up the bottom because I think I haven't caught the pocket all the way around, but that's easy enough for me to do. Let's see how badly I sewed it. Yeah, I thought so when I sewed it. So what I'm going to do is keep it that way round, and I'm just going to run a line of stitches slightly in from the point where I knew my pocket wasn't. Now you see, I don't like to lie to you, because I think that if it's a mistake that I'm likely to make, then it's a mistake that you're likely to make. Although not necessarily, I do make silly mistakes because of, you know, I'm not 100% concentrating on the sewing machine. So there we go. We have a huge pot. And it's huge, really. It's bigger than I thought I was going to be able to do. I'm now got the lining here. Let's push it out so it's the right way round. So, and then that tuck inside. But before I tuck it inside, I'm literally going to pinch this seam together. So put it between my fingers and get it nice and tucked in. And nobody's going to see this, but I still like to do it. I'm going to sew again. Yes, so uses for this. I know my son has one I made years ago, and he keeps it as a little bin in his office, so that's really nice. Oh, my son's grown up. Yeah, I just pictured a 7-year-old with an office then. So yes, there we are. Now I do need to just tidy up those loose ends, but I want to give it some depth. So got a big enough pocket for our post-it notes. That's what I was thinking. And quite a few pens, or we could leave it as a little scrap pocket and put all our pens in there. Okay, so hopefully it's been instructive. Personally, I like to give you the knowledge so that you can make your own designs, and yeah, hopefully I'm conveying that across so that, you know, yeah, there's no pattern, because there's no need to pattern. Oh, sorry, I'm waffling. Okay, so yes, see what scraps you've got and see which room in the house would benefit for something like this, and enjoy. Thank you ever so much for watching. My name's Fiona. Please like, subscribe and please share.